Nestled along the winding banks of the Hudson River, where history seems to whisper through the trees and the water sparkles under the moonlight, a long-held secret lingers. Every summer, as the 4th of July draws near, the night sky above the river bursts into life with stunning displays of color, fireworks so vibrant they appear almost magical. But these aren't just any fireworks. Locals share tales of a mysterious figure known only as the Fireworks Witch, a being cloaked in shadow and flame, who wields a magic that defies explanation. Few have caught a glimpse of her, and even fewer know her true story. As the towns gear up for their festivities, an everyday teenager named Emma finds herself pulled into a realm where light and darkness intertwine, and where the dazzling beauty of fireworks conceals a deeper, more perilous power. This is a story of enchantment, bravery, and the fierce magic of the Hudson River's Fireworks Witch. Chapter 1: Sparks on the Water. The evening air was thick with excitement as the sun sank below the horizon, painting the Hudson River in a warm orange hue. Each year, the towns lining its banks geared up for the 4th of July festivities, with families flocking to docks and riverbanks, eagerly awaiting the fireworks that would light up the night sky. But this particular night felt different. As twilight settled in, an unusual shimmer began to dance across the water, a glow that seemed to defy any ordinary display. The river appeared to come alive, sparkling with colors that shifted and twirled without any clear source. Whispers quickly spread through the crowd, people murmured about a mysterious figure rowing alone in a small boat, her silhouette framed by the flickering light. No one could quite explain where the lights originated or how they moved with such elegance and intent. Children pointed with wide eyes, caught between wonder and fear. Even the old fishermen, typically unfazed by tales and legends, exchanged nervous glances. The woman in the boat glided silently, her presence both commanding and otherworldly, as if she were a part of the river itself. The fireworks she summoned were unlike anything the townsfolk had ever witnessed, brilliant bursts that splashed the sky with colors that felt alive, almost enchanting. As the night wore on, the river's glow seemed to pulse in sync with an ancient rhythm, pulling the onlookers into a mesmerizing spell they couldn't quite grasp. It became clear to everyone watching that this night's display was more than just a celebration. It marked the beginning of a tale that would transform everything they thought they knew about the Hudson River and the secrets lurking beneath its shimmering surface. Chapter 2: The Witch of Tarrytown. Tarrytown had always been a place where life moved at a gentle pace, where neighbors greeted each other with familiarity and stories were cherished like family heirlooms. Among these tales, one name was often whispered: Madame Ignis, the Fireworks Witch. She was rumored to dwell deep in the woods just outside town, a mysterious figure who emerged only at twilight, cloaked in shadows and surrounded by a soft glow of sparks. Many dismissed her as mere folklore, a story spun to keep children from straying too far into the forest. But Emma, a curious teenager with an adventurous spirit, felt an undeniable pull toward these tales. She had heard the whispers from her friends and even caught glimpses of strange lights dancing on the river. There was something about the witch that captivated her, as if the stories were fragments of a larger mystery waiting to be unraveled. One evening, unable to shake her curiosity, Emma resolved to uncover the truth. She packed a small bag, threw on her jacket, and made her way to the forest's edge. The path was narrow and overgrown, the trees draped in moss and shadows that seemed to follow her every move. Echoes of the past floated through the air, carried by the gentle breeze. As Emma ventured deeper into the woods, the familiar sounds of night faded, replaced by a soft hum that enveloped her. She was no longer just a girl chasing after stories, she was on the brink of stepping into a realm where magic and reality intertwined in ways she had never dared to dream. Chapter 3: Emberwood Secrets. Emma's heart raced as she pushed through the thick underbrush, following the faint glow that flickered ahead like a distant flame. The deeper she ventured into Emberwood Forest, the more vibrant the air felt, buzzing with an energy she couldn't quite put her finger on. Before long, she stumbled into a small clearing, where a charming cottage lay hidden beneath ancient oaks and climbing ivy. At first glance, the cottage appeared abandoned, but a closer look revealed signs of recent activity. Glowing herbs hung from the rafters, their gentle light casting peculiar shadows on the walls. On a wooden table, jars filled with colorful powders and sparkling crystals sat neatly, each labeled with strange symbols and words that Emma couldn't decipher. Old scrolls, yellowed with age, were spread across a weathered desk, their pages adorned with drawings of stars, flames, and swirling patterns. A faint scent of smoke mingled with something sweet in the air, blending with the earthy aroma of moss and wood. As Emma reached out to touch one of the jars, a sudden warmth enveloped her fingers. It felt as if the cottage itself held a secret, just waiting to be uncovered. Nearby, the soft crackle of fire whispered through the stillness, reminding her that this was no ordinary home, it was a sanctuary of magic, hidden away from the world. Chapter 4, A Pact of Color and Flame. As Emma sifted through the glowing powders and ancient scrolls, an unexpected presence made her freeze in place. From the shadows emerged a woman draped in dark robes, her eyes flickering with a fierce yet knowing light. It was Madame Ignis, the fireworks witch, appearing as if she had been conjured by the very magic that enveloped her. Emma's breath hitched, but the witch didn't raise a hand in anger. Instead, her voice flowed with calm authority as she spoke. "You've glimpsed what you weren't meant to see," she said, "yet you possess the courage to pursue the truth." There was a challenge in her gaze, but also an invitation, one that could alter the course of Emma's life forever. Madame Ignis presented Emma with a choice: forget everything and walk away, or embrace her offer to become an apprentice, delving into the ancient and powerful art of elemental fireworks magic. The pact came with its own set of risks, the witch cautioned, for such power required both sacrifice and discipline. Emma paused, caught between fear and intrigue. The sparkling lights she had once chased now shimmered with both promise and peril. Taking a steady breath, she nodded, stepping into a realm where color and flame transcended mere spectacle, they became a force to be mastered. Chapter 5, Lessons in Light. Under the keen gaze of Madame Ignis, Emma embarked on her training journey. Each day, she learned to summon fire with just a flick of her fingers, shaping the flames as if they were made of clay. The witch imparted wisdom that fire was not just a force of destruction, it was a living entity, responsive to her emotions and intentions. Emma found she could paint the sky with vibrant bursts of color that sparkled like rainbows, each display infused with a memory or feeling. The lessons were no walk in the park. Mastering the fire demanded intense focus and strength, and every misstep left Emma feeling drained and frustrated. Madame Ignis cautioned her that magic required both respect and discipline, it was a fine line between creation and chaos. Often, Emma would practice late into the night, coaxing sparks from the air and transforming them into glowing butterflies or twinkling stars. Yet, this power came at a price. Each spell drained something from her. Her energy, her tranquility, and sometimes even her hope. The flames could turn dangerous if she lost her grip, and Emma began to feel the heavy burden of responsibility resting on her shoulders. She realized that while magic was beautiful, it was also delicate. To wield it meant confronting the shadows within herself and the world around her. With every flash of light, Emma felt herself growing stronger and more convinced that she had chosen a path that would forever alter her life. Chapter 6, Shadows Over the River. As Emma honed her skills, a strange and unsettling change began to sweep across the Hudson River. Dark clouds gathered ominously on the horizon, twisting and churning with an energy that felt almost otherworldly. Storms unlike anything anyone had ever seen started to brew, and the river's once tranquil surface now roiled violently under fierce winds. The townsfolk exchanged nervous whispers about bad omens and restless spirits. Madame Ignis grew increasingly tense, cautioning Emma that old enemies were beginning to stir. A coven of witches, once exiled from the area for their reckless and destructive magic, had made their return. Their thirst for revenge posed a serious threat to the delicate balance that Madame Ignis had worked so hard to maintain over the years. These rival witches aimed to seize the river's power, intending to unleash chaos and fear. Their magic was wild and untamed, transforming storms into weapons and igniting the forests along the riverbanks. Emma felt the heavy weight of responsibility pressing down on her as she watched the skies darken ominously. With a fierce determination to protect her home and the people she loved, Emma steeled herself to confront the impending storm. The once beautiful fireworks that had brought joy now concealed a hidden war, a battle of light and shadow that would ultimately determine the fate of the Hudson River for generations to come. Chapter 7: The Night of the Grand Display. The 4th of July arrived, buzzing with an electric energy that filled the air. Along the riverbanks, people gathered, their excitement palpable, completely unaware that this year's celebration would be one for the history books. As the sun dipped below the horizon and the first fireworks lit up the sky in a dazzling array of colors, the real showdown began high above the Hudson. Emma stood next to Madame Ignis, her heart racing as rival witches emerged from the shadows, casting spells of fire and storm. The sky transformed into a battleground of light and darkness, each explosion more vibrant and intense than the last. Flames twisted into dragons, phoenixes, and serpents, swirling wildly amidst the thunder and crackling lightning. The two factions collided in a breathtaking display that left the onlookers in awe, blissfully unaware of the danger lurking beneath the surface. Emma drew on every bit of her training to maintain her ground, her hands creating arcs of shimmering fire that sliced through the tempest. She realized that these fireworks were more than just a celebration, they were magical weapons, wielded with skill and intent. As the night wore on, the struggle for the Hudson River's future continued in flashes of red, gold, and sapphire. Emma knew that this grand display was a pivotal moment where legends would be forged, and the destiny of her world would be determined by the sparks lighting up the sky. Chapter 8: Ashes and Dawn. As the last spark flickered out and the night sky settled back into its serene darkness, the Hudson River lay still once again. The battle had come to a close, leaving behind a delicate peace that felt both hard-earned and uncertain. Emma stood by the riverbank, her eyes fixed on the ashes drifting among the glowing remnants of the fireworks' final display. The victory had come at a steep cost. The magic that had illuminated the night had drained her energy, leaving a profound weariness that settled deep in her bones. Madame Ignis remained quiet, her gaze lost in thought as she pondered the toll of their struggle. Emma realized that power always comes with a price, and that the river's magic required both respect and care. Even though the Dark Coven had been pushed back, their threat still loomed like a shadow on the horizon. Emma felt the weight of her new responsibilities pressing down on her. The duty to safeguard the river and its secrets, to maintain the delicate balance between light and darkness. As dawn began to paint the water with soft hues, the townsfolk slowly trickled in, blissfully unaware of the true battle that had shaped their destiny. The Hudson River sparkled in the early light, tranquil yet forever altered. And somewhere beneath its surface, the spirit of the fireworks which blazed brightly, an everlasting flame in a world where magic and reality danced together. The Hudson River settled back into its tranquil, glimmering state, as if nothing remarkable had happened under the summer sky. Yet, the memories of that night, the clash of magic and fire, hung in the air like a secret shared among the stars. Emma, forever transformed by her journey, embraced her role as the new guardian of the river's ancient power. The fireworks, which was no longer just a tale told in hushed tones, she had become a vibrant symbol of hope and protection. While challenges would arise and shadows would creep back in, the light that danced across the water promised courage and renewal. In the heart of the river's magic, where flames met water and darkness met dawn, a new story began, one filled with wonder, strength, and the unbreakable bond between a girl and the enchanted world she had chosen to protect.